Good evening, race fans, and welcome out here to the Irwindale Speedway, where we are racing with the American Sim Racing Club's Sunoco Invitational Super Late Models Series. My name is Upstate Al, and alongside me tonight is my good buddy from Tennessee. We're racing Jason, and Jason, we're at Irwindale, but not in the big half mile. We are on the little quarter mile as we watch Craig Tully in the 50 leading this heat race number 1. And this is going to be some fast-paced racing here this evening on a little bit of a bull ring with 17 of the best super late model drivers signed in to do battle.
Yeah, sorry, Alan, I was getting a drink of water there before we got started, buddy. What about this super late models inside of the legend car track? This is just odd to me, Al, but should be some great racing, and I'm excited to watch it.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of great fun here as we take a look at tonight's racing program. Wrong button now. We have tonight's racing information, and you can see right there on the screen a little bit of a bull ring. Quarter mile of a racetrack on the infield of the big half mile. Flat corners and a lot of runoff room down the straightaways, but you have to get that load back up to rotate that center. Tonight, right now, we're watching some heat racing action. We'll get into the call to this one. But after this, 125 lap main event with one extra set of tires in the pits here tonight. And what is a hot afternoon here at Irwindale. We look at here about 3 minutes and 20 seconds left to go in heat race number 1. We'll have 2 heat races here tonight, Dobbs, and these guys are showing us. You can see the number 8 of Richie Murray really starting to close in on the tow call number 50, your race leader of Craig Tully. He's that fast time in qualifying, by the way.
Yeah, he really looks like he has this track figured out, Al, and then, probably a lot of braking on this track, I guess you would do. And real easy on the throttle coming out of the corner, but he is really setting some good fast times.
And you can't count out Zach Coyer. He's a short track ringer, as he calls himself, and he's closed in on this these leaders right here. As you take a look and see where your leaders are running, and they're coming up on the back side of the field here in heat race number 1. They got John DeMeester in that Tellerico's Boardwalk sub number 2 right there in front of him. As you see, Murray still starting to find something around the 50, and I think we might see that old Teddy Christopher rule, tap, and then they're going by.
Oh, yeah, you expect that on a short track like this, Al, and I have the Tellerico Boardwalk sub with me again tonight, and I appreciate them for allowing me to eat one of those subs. They are simply amazing, I tell you what. I'm just glad I've been back for the last 2 weeks and I can eat another sub like that and watch some great short track racing once again.
Yeah, glad to have you in the booth here as they get underneath the number 2 of John DeMeester. Up the racetrack he goes, letting the leaders get by. Nice sportsmanship there. 0.3 of a second. And right, this heat race, an important one. It's going to set the front row and the inside lane for tonight's starting grid. So these drivers, a spot is one spot closer to the front, and you got to do it in a clean manner. Try to find a way around. Here we got 1:20 left to go.
Yeah, getting the inside start would be a big key to this racetrack, Al. You want to start on the bottom. I wouldn't want to start on the outside of this track here. It would you'd be probably going backwards. It'd be kind of like NASCAR was at the LA Coliseum. Once you got put to the outside, you just was a freight train to the back. And you kind of got to be aggressive here also. Use that front bumper a little bit, maybe tap some people up, rough them up a little bit, but I guess that's what you got to do with this short track like this.
Yeah, and you can see the 8 of Murray really starting to diamond off that corner, trying to get a much straighter exit, and he gets a run on the backside of that Roma's Brother Racing Toco entry of Craig Tully. He's there knocking on the back door, just can't find a way to get around him cleanly just yet.
Yeah, he's really being patient, and I kind of like that with a driver like that, being patient, try to find a line, wait for the guy to mess up, but he is really pushing him hard. I'm sure in the rearview mirror of Tully, he's really thinking hard.
Yeah, and you saw him take a peek down to the inside, backed out of it, thought better of it. Tully protecting that inside lane as they come up on the backside of the Laplante Racing Products, number 16 of Noah Boucher. Boucher running in that 8th position. So I think tonight you get 17 of these super late models out there. You're going to have some lap traffic, and it's really going to, I think, play a big role in what we see here tonight.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Lap traffic is going to be huge, and I guess that's the end of that race, Al.
Yeah.
I didn't even know for sure.
Yeah, Craig Tully going to pick up the heat race number 1 win as they'll head pit side. And as they do that, let's take a moment here and thank some of our sponsors for the Sunoco Late Model Invitational Series presented by Sunoco. Talarico's Boardwalk Subs, Jersey-style soup, subs, and salad, serving West Michigan. Premier Racing Setups. And tonight's proud sponsor of the Laplante Triple Crown Series is Laplante Racing Products. We thank them for supplying the ASRC Super Late Model drivers with all their car needs. Be fixed up to put on a good show. And let's take a look at the starting lineup for heat race number 2. It is going to be Ron Hart on the front row with Nick Fleury starting in second. Third spot will go to Braxton Deweese. Brett Hahn will be fourth. Charles Darling and Devin McDonald making up fifth and sixth. Seventh and eighth will be Eric Hahn and Andrew Hardings. 8 cars deep to set the outside row here for heat race number 2. And like I said, Dobbs, this is going to set the outside line. And these drivers, well, they know how important that is. You don't necessarily want to be on that outside line at the start of this race. It's going to be interesting to see how this really plays out. You know, that first heat race, all going to line up on the inside. So now these drivers are going to try to claw to get up as high as they can and try to find a spot down low.
Yeah, it's going to be eerie, you know, going to be like driving on ice pretty much. You know, you got to try to watch your mirror, listen to your spotter, and also, I mean, once again, not be too rough, but you're going to have to be really aggressive, I think, to get on the bottom side of this racetrack. And it's going to be real fun to watch. This heat race is going to be exciting. A lot of good drivers in this heat race also. And I tell you, fans in the stands, you better come on your feet because we're about to go green.
Yeah, we're going to go green flag racing this time. You're going to see that Chevrolet pace truck go faster than what it really should or can do in real life.
Here we go. Well, that pace truck's pulling off.
Green flag is out. Hart going to jump on the gas pedal. Here comes Deweese trying to get to the inside of Fleury. He's going to do so. We'll see what kind of run Fleury can get on the backside there. Contact between Fleury and Deweese.
They're really side by side. Look here. Deweese on the inside. He really wants that spot hard, and then you got Brett Hahn back there. He's like a snake in the grass. You better watch him. He'll pounce real quick on his position here.
Yeah, he's trying to find a spot there. You don't count out the old 18 of Devin McDonald, the driver out of Newfoundland. As he works back there, Eric Hahn in that 7-11 getting some pressure from the 88 of Charles Darling. Andrew Hardings in the 45 behind them, but up front it is still Deweese. Now he gets by. Here comes Brett Hahn. Can he fill the hole? Nope. The Interstate Ford's going to slam the door shut on the front of that Quick Time Motorsports Media entry. You know, your current points leader of the ASRC Super Late Model Invitational Series presented by Sunoco. Hahn comes in with a pretty healthy lead, 510 points to date. Nick Fleury is in second. He's got 454. And the man leading right now, Ron Hart, comes in third place in the standings here with just one more race to go after tonight. Tonight being the penultimate event of the season. We're off next week for Valentine's Day and then the season finale at the Iowa Speedway.
Well, I tell you what, that's a lot of mouthful that you just said right there, Al. But I'm glad they're off next weekend for Valentine's Day. Maybe me and you can go on a little date or something. You know, maybe. I'm just saying. But when I'm watching the 8 car. Deweese, he's running Ron Hart down a little bit. You know, I thought Ron was going to run away and hide, but he's not. He's bringing the 71 and a 25 of Nick Fleury along with him.
Yeah, he's really starting to close in. A half second now. It's only separating your top 2. And Deweese running that more outward line as we saw that Murray ran in heat race number 2. And you got to wonder if maybe just taking care of those tires. 125 laps for tonight's main event. These heat races Last one went around 30 laps or so, so getting a good test of what these tires are going to feel like after a long green flag run. And I'm sure that we can be accustomed to that tonight for the long runs here. This track is going to be all about patience and not making a mistake.
Yeah, you really want to save tires because they're going to be hot and slick. I would imagine that's putting a lot of pressure on those right rears and that right front with this flat track. And I tell you what, the 8 car of Braxton DeWeese is really reeled in now, Ron Hart, and I'm interested to see if he gets to his back bumper, if maybe he don't put a little bumper tag to him right here.
Yeah, DeWeese trying to get to that outside starting of the front row with that Interstate Ford Mustang. And those top 4 cars really underneath the blanket, evenly matched all the way around here. Last time by, all running 14 4s and 5s. Brett Hahn was the fastest one lap ago.
Yeah, and Brett's kind of running a little lower line than everybody else. He's got the left front tire way down there on the yellow line. And then the 8 of Braxton DeWeese, he's just kind of running a little higher going into the corner. Maybe a little better run coming off. And I'm watching Nick Fleury also, and he is just trying to be real patient. Follow Brett, almost a little contact, not much. He corrected himself. Really good racing up front.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of this come for our feature here this afternoon. Just 4 minutes to go in heat race number 2 to set our starting lineup for tonight's 125 lap main event.
Yeah, and don't count out that 88 of Charles Darling either. He started to reel his way up through there, Al. He talked about, he heard you say in a blanket, and he wants to get in on some of that cover action as well. See if he can get up here and mix things up.
Yeah, Darling came from a ways back too to be a part of this 5-car tango now. Devin McDonald out there as well in that 6th spot, closing right in there. And you see how close Darling gets down there below half the car, below that yellow line, searching for the grip, trying to make something happen.
Yeah, he's really worked his way up through there look to the outside of Fleury right here. It's real hard to pass on the outside, looks like, and back up towards the front. I know, the leaders, we talked about them quite a bit, but the 8 car of DeWeese, he really got up behind Ron Hart there, and then he's trying to force the issue, and the car got a little out of control with him. A good job by Brett Hahn right there to just back off a little bit and just wait, be patient, wait for him to mess up, and he's going to dive on the inside, maybe right here. Nope. I thought he was going to get it right there.
And Brett Hahn take a look down the inside, and DeWeese leaving that inside lane open there just for a moment, and unable to make something happen there. As now Hahn takes a look to the inside into turn number 1.
Here he comes, side by side off the corner. Look here. I don't know, though. DeWeese going to fight back. He's going to battle him out and not let him have it all the way. While this is going on, you got to think Nick Fleury, he's just waiting for maybe a little contact or something and pick up 2 spots instead of 1. He's really patient right here.
I'm interested to see here how DeWeese is able to hold on to that outside lane. Not really losing much ground on the 71 currently.
No, he's not. Not as much of a fall off as what I figured. Oh, almost a little contact with the right front of Fleury. But he's kind of holding it on. I'm pretty sure, he's probably burning the tires off like crazy, but he's hanging pretty good. Here comes that 88 of Charles Darling. He's reeling on the back of that 25 car. He's not giving up either.
Yeah, as we're on board with the 25 with Nick Fleury, take a look to the inside of DeWeese now. Slight contact maybe. But DeWeese able to get the power down and got good drive last time by. But now draws even off of turn number 2.
It's still side by side as they go off in the corner. It's a good battle, though, for these two. For 3rd position right here. And I'm really impressed with how he's kind of holding his own. Not as wide. You would think he would fall off a little bit, but it's not that bad. Maybe later on in the run, that might help him out.
Yeah, I'm thinking you guys hit back in the pits from heat race number 1. Taking some notes here, seeing how the outside lane maybe is not as terrible as they had thought. As DeWeese gets back around to 88 Darling, under 1 minute to go in our final qualifying event of the afternoon. Ron Hart now opens up a 0.6 of a second lead over this man, the 71 of Brett Hahn. Hart doing what he needs to do as he comes up on lap traffic.
He's coming up on lap traffic, and I was watching a little farther back in the field. Old Devin McDonald in the 18. He got right up on the back of the 88 car of Darling, and he went to the outside. I thought he was going to make a move, and he had to back off a little bit and try again.
Under 30 to go. We watched the battle back here. Braxton might have hurt those tires. Seeing him slow down quite a bit now, is now the 88 of Darling under attack, but the white flag will be out. I believe we're going to see one more lap of racing. His time is about to expire for the 51 of Ron Hart. Looking to start on the outside of the front row.
He's really got a fast hot rod, you know, and you got to have that. If you're going to start up on that outside lane, you're going to have to get a good bite off the start and see if you can't get on the bottom and get quick, because that outside line, you'll be a freight train, I believe.
And that's going to do it for qualifying action here this afternoon. We will be going into our feature in just a short period of time, but Ron Hart and Brett Hahn, Nick Fleury, your top three in heat race number 2. They're going to do a quick warm-up period, and as they do that, Dobbs and I will be right back. We're going to take a step aside 1 second, pay some bills. We'll be right back here on the Turn 3 Racing Network.
Bowling brings people together.
Right down the middle. You got it. Uh-oh. Good job.
See what you can do, man.
Oh. Wait.
That's a strike right there.
Woo!
Connect with family and friends. Go bowling.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back here to the Irwindale Speedway in Irwindale, California. Upstate Al here along with Racing Jason as we get ready to bring you tonight's racing action as we look from high above from the Sunoco blimp. Here is your starting lineup presented by Sunoco. Starting on the inside of row number 1 will be car number 50. This is Craig Tully. His outside car number 51. This is Ron Hart. Richie Murray will start in the car number 8 in the 3rd spot. 4th spot will go to Brett the Jet Hahn. The All-Star Race Integrity Farms number 13 of Zach Coyer will roll off 5th. Meanwhile, Nick Fleury will roll off in spot number 6. Tim Rogers and Braxton DeWeese make up 7 and 8th. 9th will be Matthew Moljeski and Charles Darling running out your top 10. 11th spot will be Hayden Swank. Devin McDonald 12th. Braden Cook will roll off on the inside of row number 7 with his number 45, or 49, excuse me. Outside of him is teammate, the number 45 of Andrew Hardings. Noah Boucher, Eric Hahn, and John DeMeester, your 17 car field. Ready to do 125 laps. Doms, you got the popcorn. You're already standing, not even using the seat that you paid for.
That's true, Al. I got everything right here. I'm standing up, got the popcorn, got the Tallarico boardwalk sub, got a Pete Sprite from Sonic. I'm ready to roll right here.
I mean, you're the man of snacks.
Oh, absolutely. You know, I try to keep my figure and stuff for softball season, but I just can't do it. And I ate too much. And we're about to go green, I believe, and I'm excited.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one, ladies and gentlemen. We thank you for tuning on in here. We know we got the Braxton DeWeese fan club out there. We've got Chris and Doug, Mike Orth out there as well. Mitch, glad to have you. Alan's Art Images, thank you for being part of tonight's broadcast. I want to thank Race and Jason for coming on in. As you can hear, I'm a little bit under the weather, but we'll power through it.
Yeah, we got to get you doctored up, Al, as we get ready to go. Green flag racing, 125 laps. Super late models. Green flags out. Here we go, Al.
Down in the turn number 1, Craig Tilley going to jump out to the early race lead, and Hart able to get down there in spot number 2. They're still side by side, a little bit deeper in the pack. Brett Hahn on the outside. He's got the 13 working down there of Zach Coyer.
All over each other in the mid-pack right here. The 48, he's running Tim Rogers. He's battling that a little bit. Him and the 88 of Charles Darling, they're playing a little bumper tag going on. It is going to be exciting, these 125 laps, Al.
Yeah, we saw a little bit of action here. Hayden Swink was down below. Down there, you got the teammates side by side, Andrew Hardens and Braden Cook. Back here for the 14th and 15th spot. Everybody kind of getting into a single file formation. Craig Tully out on the front of this one over Ron Hart. Everybody kind of just settling in. One man on the move, though, is this one, the 88 of Chuck Darling, already up 2 spots since the green flag has dropped.
Yeah, he really is coming towards the front. He's got a good line right here, and he's working hard to get up towards the front. And the 13, I'm really impressed with him. Of Coyer, he's really on the back bumper of Richie Murray right there, trying to get by him right here. Oh, I thought he was going to make a little contact.
Yeah, Zach Coyer proclaims himself as the short track specialist. Said he likes the short tracks. And right now, showing why he's up inside the top 5, knocking on that podium finish. Early on in this one, though, already 8 laps on the board. Or 7 in the books, 8 working, lap 8 as they work down the backstretch.
Yeah, that's it's crazy to say, because here in just a few minutes, Tully will be on the back bumper of the back bumper of the back of the pack cars, and it's going to be really exciting to see what happens once he gets in lap traffic.
It is, and he's going to be setting a blistering pace. Right now, you got to wonder, is it too fast of a pace?
It may be. How much tire wear is he using, and how much tire wear will we have at the end? Surely we'll have a caution in this race, but it's going to be really interesting. Watch an 8 car. DeWeese, he goes way out on the straightaway there and dives back in the inside. The 25 of Nick Fleury, he is just trying to get somewhere and just really can. It's kind of like driving in traffic here in Nashville, Tennessee. There's so much traffic in Nashville of a morning and afternoon, you can't go nowhere. You're mad, coffee spilling, you're frustrated, your anxiety's picked up, and I believe that's what he's going through right now.
Yeah, you got right now, you're working back here, and you got to wonder, the veterans like Fleury and Hahn in front of him, kind of just saving their stuff. They're about 2 seconds back from the race leader. And you got to wonder right now if they're just saving their stuff maybe for, this one looks, like our heat races, looks to be pretty good, but things starting to tighten up here for the race lead.
Yeah, they have been. Ron Hart, he's really running him down, running Tully down. He is trying his best. Catch him now. Ron Hart, we watched him last week. He took 4 tires and he was coming towards the front. I know this is a totally different racetrack, but he always runs up front. And like you said, he's the points leader.
Yeah, he's doing a good job right now, and Hart inside the top 3 for the overall standings this season. After tonight, only one event left, the Iowa Speedway, which is one of my favorite tracks to drive at. And if they put on a good show, you're going to see a lot of 2 and 3 wide action there. As these drivers right now practicing their patience, as you got to wonder, did Tully think, all right, maybe I got to back it down a little bit, as he rides here through turns 3 and 4. Still about a half a track until the back of the field.
Yeah, Tully is making, he's got a good line, I think. I'm really impressed with the line he's running. He swings out, dives back in there on the inside, gets a good run off the corner. He swings out wider than anybody else on the racetrack, and that's probably why he's in the first position. But he is really driving that car hard. And then you got to watch the 8 car of Murray. He's poking his nose out there hard a couple of times. He's saying, hey, Art, let's go. If you can't make a move, I'll try it for us.
Yeah, he's trying to make something happen there, and right now can't quite get there. As we look a little bit deeper in the field, we watch this battle for 4th, 5th spot is Brett Hahn, Nick Fleury, but Braxton DeWeese now getting back into a groove, and he's caught the backside of Nick Fleury, and as they battle it out, it's allowed Hahn to break away. But look at that man right there behind him, the 88 of Charles Darling. Darling looking to have a good night here, and finds himself already up 2 spots as they work towards the front of this field.
Yeah, he's really got a good pace of racing here tonight. He's up 2 spots, like you said. He's really patient on the back bumper of Deweese. And we talked about him a little bit in the heat race, but he's running a good race. The 48 of Tim Rogers, he's dropped 2 positions since the green flag. But he's still hanging in there. You know, he's working, what is he, position 9th right now. So he's doing all right. He's hanging tough.
Yeah, I love that paint job on that car, Dobbs.
Yeah, I do too. I really like it a lot. It's a pretty car. I like it. I like the green in it. Is that green or yellow?
You tell me. I don't know. I can't tell. But it's a nice looking car, and he's got some Rowdy energy drink starting to get poured on the back bumper of that RogersCars.com.
Yeah, McDonald in that Rowdy energy drink. I tell you what, I'm a big supporter of Rowdy Kyle Busch. And anytime I see a Rowdy symbol, I can't help but pull for somebody like that. So I know you can't have favorites in the booth, but I'm really going to keep an eye on that 18 car.
Yeah, we got a little bit of action up towards the front of this one. The 51 of Hart really applying the pressure to your race leader, as we're already a 1/5 of the way into this feature event, and Tully starting to swing out wide, and here comes the 51, contact in the turn number 1.
Yeah, he really got in there a little too hard that time, maybe hit the brakes a little bit hard. Now I wonder right here if that didn't hurt the car, the brakes on the car. You know, sometimes you push them a little bit too hard when they get hot like this. It may have affected the brakes on the car. So that's going to be interesting to watch as the race goes on.
And they're starting to close in on the back of the field here, working lap 29. Going to put lap 30 into the books. And the first one they're going to come up to is at number 2 of John Easter. Is the battle for your race lead starting to get a little physical.
It is the 13 of Coyer there. He got on the back bumper of the 8 car of Murray. He was saying, let's go. I want to get some Hardee's. Does that say Hard? No, that's a Hardee's paint scheme. My bad, sorry. He was just saying, hey, let's go. Well, we got cars coming up behind us, and I want to get to the front.
Yeah, that's the Integrity Farms entry of Zach Coyer. I know where your mind's at. I know where it's at.
Well, you know, you see a car like that, I can't help but think of Days of Thunder car, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
It's a great movie, and look here. It's a 50 now. He goes on the inside of the 2, put him a lap down, so that's going to be real interesting there. lap traffic's going to be a major factor, I believe.
Yeah, these guys are going to want to try to stay on the lead lap, and you just saw a little bit of bumper tag between Murray and Ron Hart, and now Tully's starting to open it back up over the number 51 of Ron Hart, and Hart starting to feel the pressure from behind as he's got the 8 of Murray closing back on him.
Yeah, it's weird, you know, a very small track like this. They get kind of spread out maybe, but the leader kind of holds everybody up. You know, you look at Brett Hahn, he's reeled his way closer. You look at the 25 of Flurry, he's right there on the back bumper of Hahn. And you can see the brake rotors on these old hot rods, they are starting to turn brighter red. So we'll see if we have a malfunction here in a couple laps.
Yeah, we're going to go on board with second place running Ron Hart, and you saw him give a little bit of a shot to the 50 saying, hey, we got to go. Now gets to the inside contact once again to him, backs off, lets him catch it. Great racing up at the front of this one. But now the 50 of Tully knows he's probably watching the backside of his mirror. More contact up off turn number 4.
Yeah, they are battling hard right here. Ron Hart on the back bumper, and the 13 O'Coyer, he got sideways there a minute ago. I mean, plumb sideways. He got a shot from Richie Murray in the 8 car, and we go side by side right here with Flurry and Coyer. Sorry. And whoa, contact! Flurry's going to get sideways. He's safe it. Holy cow!
Great sportsmanship right there. Zach Clare got on the backside of the 25 and let him roll off and let him save it. And that allowed Braxton Deweese to take a peek to the outside, but unable to do anything with him. Meanwhile, up front, it is still Craig Tully showing the way. Look who's closing in. That number 71 of Brett Hahn, the current points leader, trying to lock it up headed into the last race, and Hart wants to get by to lead some laps for some bonus points.
Yeah, you know, Al, I'm a huge Brett the Jet Hahn fan. I really do. Got a lot of respect for that driver. And last week on my Bet GM or whatever the thing that app's called, I lost a couple of $100 betting on him. And I'm not saying his name much tonight because I figured he'd be up there leading laps. But I'm wrong, Al. I'm losing money on this guy.
Well, I told you we can't bet as being a broadcaster. You still did it anyway.
Hey, Al, there's always betting in any sports, in my opinion.
That is true. Craig Tully, though, the second place starts to be a contested position. Tully able to drive back away. You got to wonder, is that part of the defensive mechanism as being the race leader? Backing up these guys to kind of get them all shuffled and jumbled up so their nose to tail, and then where they battle. And then we're closing in on lap number 50 already here in this one. What has been just 10 minutes of racing. These guys are running hard, clean, hard racing, beating and banging on each other. As we go a little bit deeper in the field, we look at the 7-11 of Eric Hahn. He runs in that 15th spot. Andrew Hardings is 15th, and Noah Boucher in the Laplante Racing Products number 16 currently runs in spot number 16. Only one driver down one lap, and that is the number 2 of John DeMeester. There's trouble for your race leader.
Oh, no. Contact right there.
Ron Hart got to the back bumper and got him all sideways. Hart then a defensive move on the 8 of Murray. And this is not looking good for Craig Tully. Stuck on the outside of that conveyor belt. There's contact behind him between Braxton Deweese and the 88 of Darling. Darling trying to get to that 7th spot as we got them stacked up 2 by 2 here on the mini track here at Irwindale.
I tell you what, Al, this is going to be, that got real interesting right there. I spilled popcorn all over the place when I stood up, but these guys are, I think that the level of stress has really picked up for them. And, you know, I think a couple of tempers are starting to flare out there a little bit. You know, they've been give or take for the last 50 laps, but I think that's going to be thrown out the window here as the laps wind down and all bets are off and all the gloves are coming off, because this may get a little interesting as the laps get closer to being in the end of this race.
Yeah, they are, and you see now Darling on the outside. Devin McDonald trying to fill that hole, and here comes the 48 of Rogers. Slight contact here between the 18 and the 88. No harm, no foul. Craig Tully, 1st to 5th after that contact.
Yeah, and he's getting a lot of the front bumper of the 13 car also. He is really, Coyer is all over the back bumper of him. And the 8 car, he's all over the back bumper of him. And this is going to be wild right here. I don't see how they haven't wrecked 20 times. I am going crazy. The 18 car now, he's on the inside. Devin McDonald, he's on the inside passing car. Wow, and they still haven't had a caution.
No, there's still more bumper tag. Coyer up the racetrack after contact from McDonald. As we close in on the halfway point of this race, Ron Hart leads it over the number 8 of Richie Murray. Brett Hahn up to 3rd, Nick Fleury 4th, and Craig Tully rounding out your top 5. But Tully's got some company in the fast form of a Ford Mustang of Braxton DeWeese.
Yeah, I tell you what, when you say Ford Mustang, my ears pop up because I love Mustangs, and he is all over the back bumper of him. And back further in this field, I tell you, I keep talking about it, the 13 of Coyer and the 88 of Darling. They are side by side for the last 4 or 5 laps, not giving each other any inch, and they're battling hard right here for that 8th position. It is just crazy watching these guys. Whoa, the 8 car got a little sideways. Wow.
Able to save it. What a nice save by DeWeese. He still works underneath the number 50 of Tully. That is the battle for 5th as they are 3 wide behind them. Action all around this speedway. Not sure where to watch.
I'm trying to figure out where to watch and what to watch, and I can't because there's so much action going on. It's really hard. I wish I was up there in the spotter box. I could really tell what was going on then. But not so many cameras for this little bitty Irwindale Speedway where these legend cars, Bandoleros and all that run here, I'm assuming.
Yeah, you know, give the tip of the hat to series director Tanner Tallarico for, I guess, dreaming this up. I guess it would be the best way to say it.
I guess. I mean, he's actually, it's pretty smart. You know, you take these high-powered super late models and put them on a little bitty bull ring like this, and the millions of fans out there tuning in, you know, maybe their race directors are looking at this and saying, hey, why not try to run 150 lap on the inside of Irwindale Speedway?
Yeah, we just passed the halfway point. Your current race leader is Ron Hart. Started 2nd this evening. Took the race lead back on lap 45. And has not looked back. They're a half-second lead over the 8 of Richie Murray. Murray up to 1 spot from his 3rd starting spot. And he's got a hard charge in Brett Hahn, who kind of fell back at the start of this race and now is starting to move back forward. He runs in the 3rd spot. Nick Fleury is 4th. He's had a nice quiet race. And rounding out your top 5, Braxton DeWeese in car number 8.
Yeah, they're really, really working. I'm real, a lot of hats off to these guys that's going a lap down. You see the 45 of Andrew Harding's there. He's up on the outside, letting these cars go by. He knows he's a lap down, a little slower pace tonight. Maybe miss a setup, you know, something like that. He's just up there real high, letting these guys go by on the inside. Is the 35 car of Hayden Swank. Is that how you say his name?
Swank.
Now he's coming down. Swank, okay. That's a beautiful looking race car. I like it black and purple.
Yeah, and Swank is one of the hottest drivers. I missed last week, I believe. I don't remember having him out on the field, but he's been one of the quicker drivers here as of late in the later runnings of this Super Late Model Series.
Yeah, he's been real patient. We haven't mentioned his name tonight much, and he's working way up through the field there a little bit. He's up to, what, 9th place now? And he's maybe saved his stuff as we're 69 laps in. I wouldn't count him out right here.
Yeah, doing a good job here as the top 3 kind of even themselves out as the lights start to come on around the Irwindale Speedway. Ron Hart showing the way, but Braxton DeWeese Sterling pressuring the 25 of Nick Fleury, and he's going to take a look to the inside. A little bit of bumper contact in the turn number 3. Fleury up the racetrack, contact off turn number 4. They are leaning on each other. Fleury not happy with the number 8 car. He's going to give him a little bit of a bumper tag back, move him back up the racetrack.
That's just short track racing right there, Al. I mean, that's what you got to do here. You got to hit somebody in the back end. You know, you don't really want to be that guy. Oh, contact! Fleury gets sideways, and the caution's going to come out for the first time. Multiple cars, the 88 at Darling sideways. Oh boy, this is going to shake things up big time.
Yeah, our Tallarico Boardwalk sub yellow flag coming out for the first time You kind of saw that one coming, didn't you?
You did, and like I said earlier, you know, the patience are getting thin. Whoa, Ron Hart got a little sideways right here. We're trying to slow him down, but the patience are out the window. The pay window is open right now, and these drivers realize that the laps are winding out, and the tempers are going to flare, guys. We may actually have to get security in the pits.
Yeah, I think the Tallarico down there in the pit area with some extra help here this afternoon. Let's take a look back here and see what actually caused this yellow flag. As you see the action between Fleury and the 8. Braxton Luis gets into the back side of him, and then it actually was behind, and then the 25 goes off or around off the front, I believe. I don't know who that was. I didn't quite catch it, Dobbs. Take a look at it one more time. I believe it was Craig Tully.
I think so.
Hayden Swank getting into the back side of the 88 of Darling. And interesting play calls. A lot of our front runners coming down pit road.
Yeah, we saw that last week with Ron Hart getting some 4 fresh feel goods, and I'm seeing from the race directors that they have given Swank the EOL penalty, so that's interesting. Was that caution on him, I'm assuming?
He's the one, the yellow flag was initially thrown for the 88 of Charles Darling getting turned off the front of the QuickTime Media Motorsports number 35 of Swank.
Yeah, and that's a tough break for him. He was really working his way up towards the front. And now he's got to go to the tail end of the longest line. Man, that's going to be tough.
Yeah, and right now, after that pit stops, only 7 drivers on the lead lap.
7 drivers on the lead lap. That's crazy. You know, you think 7 drivers, it could be anybody's though, as we start to double them up 2 by 2.
Yep. And right now, your front 4 cars here are on older tires, 75 lap tire run. Brett Hahn came down pit road and took, I believe, right side tires with that number 71. So we're going to find out how much tires mean, and you got to be patient. You can't just monster truck over the driver in front of you. And you alluded to it, Dobbs. You know, tempers and patience were starting to run thin there, and we are underneath the Tallarico Boardwalk subs yellow flag for the first time this afternoon.
Yeah, and the pace truck's getting ready to pull off again. Getting ready to get a complete restart. Ron Hart gets a real good jump on the 8 car right there of Murray, and it's side by side between DeWeese and Murray as Ron Hart says, oh, yellow, yellow, yellow.
John DeMeester going around with Andrew Hardings. Not sure if that was the start of it or the end of it, but that's what happened. We'll take a look back here and see what brings out. Cautions breed cautions.
That's what I was about to say, Al.
See on this restart here. Oh, Harding spun the tires and just looped it down on the inside. And around he will go. I believe that the free pass will give us 8 cars back on the lead lap with Tim Rogers getting the free pass on the RogersCars.com number 48. And it's like I know what I'm talking about.
Well, Al, that's because you do, buddy.
Don't give me too much credit.
Oh, okay, sorry. We just spun it right around.
It's been a good race so far.
It has been, you know, and we went, 75 laps before the first caution come out? These drivers, hats off to them. I mean, Al, we all know Racing Jason's very aggressive, and something like this, I don't think I could stay off the back bumper of somebody like that. I would be probably getting an EOL, so hats off to these guys. They are really giving each other some give and take. They got a little chippy there right there at the last couple of 5 or 6 laps, but it was good, clean, short track race.
Yeah, I wasn't really sure what to expect as we pulled up here to Irwindale. Now we know what kind of racing we see normally on the big half mile here, with multiple grooves of racing and a lot of good passing opportunities. Tonight, right around the bottom, that yellow line is your friend. But as we saw, there are some chances to rough up your fellow racers because the pace is slower.
It is. It's a lot slower, and it's crazy, And I don't know about you, Al, but I've only raced one time here on this racetrack, and it was a figure 8 for a Salt Flat Eye Racing League race, and it was a all-star race, and it was a disaster. I got hit head on about 10 times. But
that explains a lot.
no, I tell you what, it was something else. It was good fun, though. It was about 3 or 4 years ago, and that's the last time I ever ran a race here at the Irwindale Speedway.
Ron Hart into the restart zone, and we are back underway. And you got to wonder, the 71 of Brett Hahn with those fresher tires, he's able to get back down in that 4th spot. I was going to say, I wonder if the outside lane maybe come in as we are slowed once again. Go ahead and say it, Dobbs. I know you want to.
Cautions breed cautions.
That's right.
Yeah, they. I mean, that's the leader, of Ron Hart. That's what he's after. Keep wrecking. Lights wind down. I'm going to try to run this thing. And these other guys, they're the 8. They're like, I don't know about that. Let's run some green flag laps so I can get a shot at you.
Yeah, Andrew Harding's coming down pit road. See what happened this time. Gets down into turn number 1 and just center around, all by a lonesome.
Yeah, and that's a heartbreak for him. He didn't want that, and I'm sure the team didn't want that either.
No. Hayden Swank in pit road along with Hardings as Hardings rolls back out onto the racetrack. Braden Cook going to get back on the lead lap. That'll give us 9 cars on the lead lap, so you got to be in it to win it. Nine cars chance.
Yeah, and if we keep having cautions, I mean, the 53 of Majeski there, he'll be back on the lead lap, and so then there'll be 10 cars. So he's probably hoping for another caution also.
Yeah, right now, I mean, these cautions are really helping out the drivers that stayed out on the racetrack, letting these tires cool down a little bit more, right? I kind of was looking there, only saying 4 cars with older tires. In the nature of how quick that yellow flag was, those tires did not get a chance to really cool down as much as the fresh tires were going to have. So now these cycles on there, I'm not sure that the fresh tires are going to mean that much with just about 36, 37 laps to go here in this feature event.
Yeah, maybe not. And I mean, if there's one driver that's got a shot at it, we all know Brett the Jet will give his A+ effort to try it. But I tell you, the racetrack is cooled down also, Al. What did it start? 92 degrees when we started, 94. It's down to 87.8 now.
Yep.
So the lights come on. Tempers come out. Here we go. Getting ready for a complete restart. Ron Hart once again gets a real good job. And Brett the Jet Hahn missed a gear or something. We're wrecking back there in the back.
So far, we stay green. One car going around once again. That looks like it was Mojeski going to go around with Andrew Hardings, and Hardings might have spun just to avoid contact. And this one started out good, and now is seeing a rash of yellow flags here on these restarts.
Yeah, it does. And I stand up every time out of my little stool here I'm on, and I stand up every time for the green flag, and I get real excited. And then I get real excited when the car goes sideways because you don't know if he's going to take out half the field because the track's so small, and these super late models are not used to something like this, and it really makes it for exciting adventure for sure all the way out here in California.
Yeah, and that one there, the 14 of Matthew Mojeski, spun, got in the gas pedal a little bit too hard, and Andrew Harding's going around for the 3rd time, all by those tires getting hot, and Nick Fleury going to get back on the lead lap here. So 10 cars now on the lead lap, and Brett Hahn back to 5th. He spun the tires, missed a gear, as you alluded to on that restart.
Yeah, he did. I mean, you don't really catch that from the old Brett the Jet. He's usually money with these restarts, and maybe the 2 tires wasn't such a good idea. You got some that's wore out, and you got fresh feel goods on the other side. And man, it hurt the setup on that race car.
Yeah, right now the pace truck getting ready to pull back into the restart zone we go. The Tellurico Boardwalk sub. Yellow flag going away. We'll see if we can keep it clean and green here. Everybody minding their P's and Q's for the backstretch. As meanwhile, up front, the 2 8s are side by side. Braxton DeWeese looking to move in the second.
Ooh. Low hard contact though. I think Murray come down a little hard that time on DeWeese. He thought he was not going to be there as far as what he should, and that opens the door up for Hahn. And here comes Tully right back on the inside. He led a bunch of laps earlier on in this race. And don't count him out just yet.
Yeah, and Craig Tully, one of those drivers that came in for tires on lap 74, as Brett Hahn now takes a bit to the inside. Craig Tully backs it up. We stay green so far.
Yeah, Tully got a little contact there. Sorry, Al. Now we got a yellow out. Sorry I jumped on you, but saw some action, and I just overspoke on your toes there, buddy.
That's all right. You call it, you see it, my friend. I wear glasses. I can't see that well.
Oh, well, I'm supposed to, Al, but I leave them in my wife's Mustang, so...
It looks like, I'm not really sure. That's towards the back of the field here. Let's take a look back here and see what brings out the yellow flag. Oh, contact between Eric Hahn and the 16 of Noah Boucher is what brings out our 5th yellow flag of the afternoon.
Yeah, and it looked like the 8 car of Murray decided to go down pit road. Was that a bold move, Cotton, or what? Because the laps are winding down. We got 25 laps to go.
Yeah, Murray's coming to a stop, and we'll see what kind of action we get here on the pit lane. And it looks like right side tires going up on that number 8 car, and he is down and away. But we're going to be within 25 laps to go, make it 24 when we come back to the green flag.
Yeah, these laps are winding down, and the patience are they're really, I'm saying, out the window. Tempers are they're picking up more and more. And as a race director, you're starting to sweat because you want it to be a good race, but you don't want it to be a chaos race.
Exactly. Hart able to jump on that loud pedal, and he will hold on to that race lead. Brett Hahn trying to work the outside to hold off the 8 of Braxton DeWeese. So far, able to do so with those fresh tires, but Braxton DeWeese holding court pretty good on the inside, but now the 71 of Hahn able to get down. Oh, contact!
Oh, contact! Oh, no! Whoa.
We stay green.
Brett the Jet, the favorite right there, I think, at the end of this race, and here comes Tully on the inside.
Craig Tully making his way back up towards the front here is Braxton DeWeese. And Brett Hahn made contact. Hahn went around in the spin cycle. And no yellow flag came out. Oh, trouble. Murray trying to muscle his way up through the field. He's up the racetrack. This one, the gloves are off.
Yeah, they're coming off right here. And watch this 48 car, Tim Rogers, good-looking race car on the outside of the 13 right here at Coyer, making some ways, Al. We didn't think the outside were working. He's making it work. Look at this.
Yeah, he's making it work, and I was keeping an eye on the back there a little bit further. Murray in that number 8 car, him and the 14 of Mojeski playing pinball, but they are still 2x2. And that outside lane with those fresher tires seem to be working, but we're going to have a bid for the race lead. And remember early on in this racing, Jason, that 50 got used up by that 51 just slightly. Wonder if payback will be coming here with 17 laps to go.
I'll tell you what, if it don't, it'll be interesting. I have my hats will be off to Craig Tully. You're coming down to a race, laps are winding down, you got a little nudge out of the way early on in the race to get knocked out of the way. I don't know about you, Al, but I believe I'm going to be using that front bumper just a little bit.
Yeah, we're going to see 16 more circuits to go, and Rogers still working the outside of the racetrack, and he is actually going to pass the 13, but now a little bit wide. Charles Darling in that car as one car goes around.
Oh.
That was your race leader. Ron Hart goes around. Oh, my Lord. The Boardwalks subs, yellow flag coming out as Craig Tully And I'm assuming, I shouldn't assume, but Craig Tully and Ron Hart make contact, and Hart is going to go from leading, knowing that Brett Hahn was in trouble,
Wow.
to now being behind him. Hart just trying to win, and it looks like Tully getting sent to the tail. Let's see what brought this out. See him working down the backstretch into turns 3 and 4. Oh, and Tully just able to roll that center a little bit better. He just gave him a shot, and it lifted him up. Murray went around in the 8 car as well.
Man, I tell you what, Al, that makes things exciting. And Ron Hart pulled up there beside him to let him know he wasn't happy. But man, just short track racing. I mean, tempers flare, hats off. You're going down to the win, and I'm sure Ron Hart's a little upset. And I'm guaranteed he's really upset inside that helmet. But his crew chief and spotter has got to cool him off a little bit. Late laps are winding down, and I mean, I know it's probably hard, but you know, cool him off right here, make a better run out of it, and get some positions picked back up. I'm sure there's going to be some more yellows in this one out.
Yeah, 12 laps to go. We'll have 11 when the green flag comes back out. Your new race leader after that exchange is the number 8 of Braxton DeWeese. Tim Rogers second, Zach Coyer third, Nick Fleury fourth, and Charles Darling inside the top 5.
Yeah, we get ready to get the green flag, and it is out, and DeWeese gets a big run right here, and the 13 of Coyer and Rogers has been side by side for the last 10 laps, it seems like. And Rogers, if he takes his lead on the outside, Al, I tell you what, I'm gonna go crazy right here in the booth.
Yeah, you already are crazy.
That's for sure. That's like their contact, they're beating and banging everywhere.
Yeah, and that opens the inside lane for the 71. Here comes the 51 of Ron Hart.
Oh, big wreck.
Oh, your points leader involved in that one. Yellow flag not coming out once again. Now it'll come out as, oh boy, Devin McDonald and the 88 of Chuck Darling come together, and the yellow flag will fly for the 7th time. And what started out to be such a good race has turned into a demo derby.
Yeah, and we had somebody head on in the fence right there too. Al, I don't know if you said that or not, but I mean, I just couldn't believe it took them this long.
I mean, we're short track racing. Tempers are starting to flare here. Let's take a look here and see. Watch this one back here as Brett Hahn gets around. You see the contact between the 8 of Murray and the 18. Oh, and right there in front, they make some contact. And they are 4 wide, and they just get hooked in hard contact to the outside retaining wall. I thought it looked a lot more malicious than it actually was. It was just contact that continued the contact.
It looked miraculous. I guess that's the word I can use. That's a hard word for Tennessean to say, but I tell you, it looked brutal from the up here in the booth.
It did. It knocked his toupee back to his forepay.
Yeah, I guess that's how you could say it, Al. You know, Al, and for the millions of viewers out there, I think you should give us our best Denny Hamlin short track racing thing. Remember when he said that about Joey Logano?
No.
No, you don't remember that? Okay, well, they got in a feud in Martinsville.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Oh, Denny Hamlin says, short track racing.
Yes, I do remember that.
Here we go, Al. We're going to double them up once again. We got 4 to go right here.
4-lap shootout. Think we're going to get it done?
No.
We'll have, all right.
How many green white checkers we get here?
I'm going to leave that up to you. I don't quite recall. We haven't had to use any all season long.
Well, they paid extra money to keep the lights on tonight because the green flag's back in the air and we're racing.
Braxton DeWeese with a good jump. Here comes the 13 of Zach Coyer. One car going to go around. That's the 25 of Fleury. And no yellow flag for Nick Fleury, so he stayed green so far.
I'm shocked. I mean, I figured the yellow would come out, but it didn't. But the 8 car of Braxton DeWeese is checking out right now. He's going to, oh no.
Here we go. Checker or yellow flag is out, and green white checkered attempt number 1 coming.
Man, what happened there, Al?
I'm assuming that it came out for the 25 of Nick Fleury, who had stopped on the outside of turn number 2.
I'm trying to go back and check the replay here. Give my opinion of the situation, Al. You think they put enough gas in the pace truck tonight, Al?
I mean, it's a Chevy, so it sucks it pretty good.
Oh, my.
You know they don't get good gas mileage.
Yeah, that's true. I got a Chevy Tahoe, and I tell you what, seems like every time I drive by Buc-ee's down here in Crossville, the daggum thing needs gas again.
Well, that's because you're not shopping at hometown Sunoco in Cutlerville.
Well, last time we had a Sunoco, they shut her down, so the only thing we get is a Buc-ee's.
Well,
And I go in there and get me a fresh brisket sandwich, Al. You guys got Buc-ee's up there?
no, we shop at the hometown Sunoco of Cutlerville, and then we go to Tallarico's Boardwalk Subs for food.
Well, that's what I should do then. I need to jump on board and get on that stuff. The Boardwalk Subs are amazing. I tell you what, I like them. Hopefully next time we can get some more of these in the booth.
Well, you ate mine and yours, so...
Well, I'm getting a little bigger every day, they say, Al, and that's probably not good.
All right, restart coming up here. Green, white, checkered attempt number 1. Braxton Louise going to jump on that gas pedal first. See what happens down here in the turns 1 and 2 so far. Okay. Ron Hart trying to make a rebound here after getting sent from the race lead there. 3 wide, still leaning on each other back there. The white flag is out. That is all Braxton Louise wanted to see, was that white flag. He don't care what happens behind him now. As Ron Hart gets to the inside of Zach Coyer, he'll use 8 tires that are better than 4, but it'll be Braxton Louise picking up the win over Ron Hart and Zach Coyer, rounding out your top 3. And you thought it was wild having Racing Jason in the booth. Wait till you see what happens when Coyer gets in here. As I believe, let's say that Brett Hahn was congratulating Braxton Louise.
I think he was. I think he's giving him a donut there, just telling him good job. Well, there's a lot of action right there on those last couple of laps, Al.
I don't know if we have time to decipher all of it.
I tell you what, the 18 car of Devin McDonald was all over somebody there. I don't even know. 71 a Hahn or Darling, but that was wild.
Braxton Louise burning it down here on the front stretch as we get ready to go with tonight's Sunoco Victory Lane celebrations, and we'll see if we can get words with our race leader, or race winner. But we're going to start with our 3rd place finisher of Zach Coyer, and we'll bring him down. And Zach is a little worn out and a little frustrated in what ended up being a pretty entertaining race here. A little extra distance for the first time this season. And Zach, you're going to come home on the podium and get to talk to a sick Al.
Yeah, that was definitely a handful tonight, so I'm just going to leave it at that.
You're going to come home with that 3rd place finish, though, and you know, a good overall night for you to come home with that 3rd place. Interesting. First time that we've seen the super late models on this configuration. We usually see them on the big half mile. Kind of reminded me of a little bit of an Oxford feel.
Yeah, that's definitely the way I planned to race it, was just try to limit my throttle input and keep it going. It definitely wore on me that first run. I faded back pretty fast, and then once they started becoming knuckleheads and just started driving through each other's hood pins, it kind of slowed down a little bit. But yeah, definitely a handful tonight, that's for sure.
You're going to come out of here with that third place finish. Nothing to shake your head at. We're off next week, so you can take myself and Dobbs to dinner for Valentine's Day. And then we're off to Iowa Speedway. I keep on calling it the Super Speedway because that's the type of racing we're going to see there. We're going to see a lot of 2 and 3 wide action down there at the Iowa Speedway. How's Iowa for you for the nightcap of this season? Probably not the season that you wanted, but we've talked to you a few times. That's got to be good something to hang a hat on.
Yeah, like I said, it's been frustrating this year. There's no question about it. But knowing that I can still finish top 3 with this group of guys is still pretty good. And I was hoping you'd ask me out for Valentine's Day because I was looking forward to it.
Well, as long as you bring the cold beer.
Oh, always. But yeah, Iowa's definitely going to be a fun track. Definitely going to have to change up the driving style. It's more of a let it roll type track. So we're going to see if we can finish in the top 3 in points.
Are you going to come home with that number 2 or number 3 spot here tonight? You are sitting 4th, just about 9 points behind the 51 of Ron Hart. We know we got you there at the end of this one, but you're right there with them coming here towards the end of this points chase.
Yeah, that move there at the end kind of got under my skin because I was definitely going to let him go there because I knew he had fresh tires, but there was no need for him to come up into me. That's just how I felt because, like I said, I was going to let him go, but I know he's a lot more aggressive driver than I am, so you just got to know who you're racing with.
Well, congratulations on this 3rd place finish. Well, we look forward to we'll let you and Dobbs pick out the restaurant that we go to next Wednesday, but who makes it all possible here on this 13 car to get you on the podium?
I want to thank Matt Vade Paint Schemes for this awesome Integrity Farm scheme. I want to thank you guys up in the booth, LaGrange for helping us with this, Sunoco and Boardwalk Subs and all those guys behind the scenes, and Tanner for week in and week out giving us a great environment to race in, and you guys for letting us go back and watch our mistakes and watch what we did good.
Well, congratulations here this afternoon for finishing 3rd. We know you wanted to do a little bit better, but hey, it's always a pleasure talking with you, Zach.
Yeah, you too. It's always great to hear your voice. Hope I hear it again one more time next week or the week after. Well, I'll see you next week.
Sounds good, buddy. We'll see you at dinner. Hey, have a good one.
You too, brother.
There you go. That is tonight's 3rd place finisher of Zach Coyer, and Ron Hart has taken the 51 straight back to the hauler after a hard-fought 2nd place finish. So hard fought to get back to that number 2 spot here for the number 51 of Ron Hart Dobbs, and he had a good race. Going to come up 1 spot shy here this afternoon.
Yeah, he gave it his all to get back up to 2nd place. Spun out, and he come back to 2nd place. Real good run by him, and I'm sure his team is discussing about some situations that went on. It's probably some tempers going on down there in the pits, and I'm glad I'm up here with you. And we got security and stuff. We can get to our golf cart and get on the plane. We can head our separate ways, and we got no part of that situation.
Absolutely, but we're gonna move on down here to tonight's feature event winner, the driver of the Interstate Ford Mustang, Braxton DeWeese. And Dobbs, I believe you've caught up with our race winner.
I sure have. I'm here with Braxton DeWeese, picking up a big feature win and a crowd favorite tonight on the live feed. Braxton, tell us how you done it, buddy.
Just trying to make the right moves at the right time and trying not to rough anybody up too much. Definitely kind of roughed up a couple of them, unfortunately. Had a good battle there with Nick that we were kind of hitting each other back and forth, just giving each other some taps, and you cross over that line just a little bit, and it can send him going a little too loose there and damn near spinning. So he almost had that checked up, and then I think the car behind, he just didn't really have nowhere to go, so that was unfortunate. And I don't really want that to happen. I kind of want to, there can be some beating and banging and whatnot, but I don't want it to end up in a result and then spun out car. So that was unfortunate. And there with Brett, I blipped the throttle a couple times and tried to check up. Probably could have checked up, a couple, blipped it a couple more times, but just close racing. And if you check up too much, then you got the guy behind you pounding on you. So it's just some close racing, and it's just hard decisions, and unfortunate that happened as well. And But I'm just glad we could stay up there with the tires that we had with not pitting at all and working it out and saving that right front. I actually felt really good there. On that first long run, I felt pretty good with the right front and whatnot, and felt pretty comfortable. I just knew I had to keep it on it and see what we had at the end, and we had a little bit to hold them off.
You're doing a heck of a job, I think, and car looked pretty good all night long. A lot of beating and banging going on, and I know inside that helmet had to be a little frustrating at times, but you did a heck of a job, man, and hats off to you. And you got anybody you'd like to thank on this race car?
Oh, for sure. Definitely a sponsor on the car of Interstate Ford. We just got on board with them last year, and we had a pretty good year with them, and hoping to have an even better year with them this year, and seeing what we could do in the future with them as well. So big shout out to Interstate Ford. I also want to give a big shout out to Bennett's Publical, James on Main, Allen's Arts Images. I know Randy Allen, that's the owner of Allen's Arts Images. He tuned in. He had already texted me, honestly, probably like 3 minutes after the checkered flag. So he's usually on it, and usually the first one to do that other than my dad to congratulate me. So, I appreciate him for tuning in. And we're going to have some a special paint scheme. We might do something for the last race at Iowa with this super late model. I kind of have an idea that we can do maybe now that I'm thinking about it. Just kind of brought it up. So we'll see if we can do something for the last race at Iowa in a couple weeks. We got a little time to prepare for that. So maybe we can get something situated with that. Also, we're probably going to have another car with him as well. But I also want to give a shout out to the other ones of Booth 34 Diecast, Unrivaled Cinematography, and Blaze Designs. Blaze Designs makes all these paint schemes happen. I run in like 4 or 5 different leagues and try to keep myself busy during the week. So, he puts up with my butt, and because I'm pretty picky with the paint schemes and whatnot. So I appreciate him, and I appreciate everybody else that is on the car and tunes in, and I just appreciate it. And hopefully we can go off with another win at Iowa. That's one of my favorite tracks on the service and just in real life. So we'll see if we can get another one there.
Well, you had a lot of people to thank. You had a lot of people in the chat really cheering for you also. And like I said, you did a heck of a job tonight, buddy. Congratulations. And Al, I'm going to send it back up to you. We got champagne going all over the place right here, and it's getting all in my hair.
All right. Thank you, Dobbs. Thank you, Braxton. Congratulations goes out to that race team here once again here picking up tonight's feature event in what was a very competitive start to the start of this one, and then I think patience and everything just kind of left the building, Dobbs, as they say. But only one thing left to do, and one thing only to do, and that is to go through our results for tonight's feature event, not our qualifying results. Come on, truck. Dobbs, I tell you.
It's a long night, Al. You been under the weather?
I hear you. Braxton DeWeese going to pick up that win. You just talked to him down there in Victory Lane. Ron Hart comes home second. Zach Coyer third. Craig Tully, a nice rebound for the 4th spot. And Tim Rogers will round out your top 5. Brett Hahn is 6th. Braden Cook 7th. Noah Boucher 8th. Charles Darling and Eric Hahn with a top 10. Devin McDonald will come home 11th. Matthew Mojeski will come home 12th. 13th will go to Nick Fleury. John DeMeester 14th. Richie Murray 15th. Andrew Hardings, Hayden Swank will round out your 17-car field. We are off next week for the Valentine's night. We hope you and your significant other have a great Valentine's Day. And we'll see you February 21st from the Iowa Speedway in Newton, Iowa. But until then, everybody, Braxton DeWeese, victorious here tonight in Irwindale. Until next time, Jason and myself will see you in turn 3. Good night, everybody.